Ebya mutabani wa His Excellency Museveni, Gen.Mhoozi Kainerugaba has birungi njagala okuwuliriza Professor Kyamukoze tumale tuyongereyo.
And I wanted to talk about the recent tweets by General Amazon 4-star Mhoozi Kainerugaba, the imbecile son of senior military dictator, because Mhoozi is junior military dictator.
Video yo ekyali mpanvumuko ngenda kubanja kupeyingira mu maaso awo naye nga tetunaba kweyongerayo nyongera okujjukiza video sooka ogimpereka like bw'oba omaze subscribinga weegatte ku mukutu gwaffe guno kadde kajja mu personalize latest subjects nga zino obeere ng'ozifuna mu budde. Professor avuddeyo n'atabukidde Gen.Mhoozi Kainerugaba oluvannyuma lw'okubeera ng'akola tweets ezikanga His Excellency Bobi Wine wamu ne Dr. Kizza Besigye mbu ayagala kukola ki okubasaanya mujjukira bulungi tino omukulu Dr. Kizza Besigye ali kugwa treason ate His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi kigambibwa okubeera nga ebyadala wakoma mu Uganda naye gwe musango gwe baagala okubeera nga bakola ki bamuteekako. Njagala owulirize Professor n'obwegenderevu kubanga video yagikoze mu Luzungu simanyi oba mukwano gwange Sharifa wali e Saudi Arabia eno video anaasobola okugitegeera naye Professor ayogedde mu Luzungu mpola mpola kimanyi mujasobola okubeera nga mupiikinga video yino.
Greetings, sisters and brothers. It's a beautiful day in Washington, D.C., enjoying some sun before I have to head back to the library to do some work, academic work. But I wanted to share some thoughts on our beloved Uganda, as always. And I wanted to talk about the recent tweets by General Amazon 4-star Mhoozi Kainerugaba, the imbecile son of senior military dictator, because Mhoozi is junior military dictator. So senior is General Museveni, who of course stole the election from Robert Kyagulanyi, aka Bobi Wine, on January 15, 2026. And obviously nobody recognizes that. Not even the countries that have supported Museveni for the last 40 years seem to recognize that election. I mean, obviously, they'll continue doing business with him because the Ugandan state exists independent of dictator Museveni. But it's a good thing because it means that if Ugandans should decide to rise up and remove Museveni and Mhoozi, nobody's going to shed tears for them, and certainly nobody's going to come to their defense. He has been denounced comprehensively and conclusively by members of the EU countries. Britain and the United States, their approach normally is the silence, of course. But that in itself is a good sign as well. There's a great opportunity now for Ugandans to really mobilize and remove this dictatorship. After 40 years, enough is enough. We need to remove this obstacle to Uganda really fulfilling and realizing its destiny and its potential with the vast human resources and talents that Uganda has and the vast natural and mineral resources that Uganda has. We cannot allow two despots to stand in the way of our opportunity to fulfill our true destiny and create the kind of Uganda that we all want for the youth in this current generation and in the future generations to come. So let me get back to Mhoozi's tweets. So he's been tweeting that he wanted to send Ugandan soldiers to fight on behalf of Israel and the United States against Iran. If you were able to try to do that, you know exactly what would happen, right? The Ugandan soldiers would overthrow him. They would overthrow him and his father and send them running on that presidential plane, which of course, wherever they go, after they land, that plane would be returned to Uganda. So Ugandans should not worry about that. If they need the plane to get out of the country one day, let them take the plane. It will be returned. So don't worry about that. That they're going to abscond with a plane that is worth $50 million, bought with taxpayer money. of course they would get rid of him because Ugandans are not interested in fighting against Iran, number one. Number two, Mhoozi and his father miscalculated. And I say his father because there's no way Mhoozi tweets those tweets without getting approval from senior dictator. Senior dictator approves those tweets. If he disapproved, he would have fired Mhoozi a long time ago. So Mhoozi is commander of the National Army because his father wants him to be commander of the National Army. So when you see a Mhoozi tweet, it is a Mhoozi / Museveni tweet. Okay? Don't let him fool us. So Mhoozi now and his father realize that Iran is not like Venezuela. Iran actually has military capabilities and capacities. It manufactures its own weapons, and it has obviously a military structure which makes it very difficult for it to be incapacitated, right? Because the leadership is diversified, number one, and then it's not concentrated under one single command, right? There are more than 30 different commands. Each regional force has its own command structure. So even if others are incapacitated, they continue fighting. And that is what they've proven right now. And as a result, the United States and Iran are now involved in negotiations. And hopefully Trump can get back to his original agenda, which he claimed was to be a president for peace, until he was lured into this war by Israel's Netanyahu, right? So things are not going as Museveni and Mhoozi had predicted, that this would be quick, and Iran would be destroyed, and there would no need for Mhoozi to deploy the soldiers that he had pledged. So now that things are not going that way, let's see if Mhoozi actually does send any Ugandan soldiers to Israel. I'm almost sure if he tries to do that, they would march on State House. That's number one. Number two, don't let Mhoozi and Museveni fool anyone. There's those tweets by Mhoozi, the tweets of somebody who is an idiot. Mhoozi may be an imbecile, but he's not an idiot. Those tweets are coordinated. So don't let anybody dismiss them as crazy tweets. No, not such thing. Part of the reason why they tweet that is also to mitigate against some of the tweets that are very problematic, such as the tweets by Mhoozi and Museveni boasting of killing supporters of National Unity Platform, supporters of Bobi Wine. The tweets by Museveni and Mhoozi tweeting that they will castrate Bobi Wine and then kill him. The tweets by Mhoozi and Museveni boasting of torturing Eddie Mutwe and other people. And why do I say the tweets by Museveni and Mhoozi? Because as I said earlier, there is no way Mhoozi would tweet like that without Museveni's approval. Otherwise, he would have been fired a long time ago. So every Mhoozi tweet is also a Museveni tweet. So those tweets are problematic because you cannot boast about murder and torture. That is a crime. And they know that one day they will be held accountable for their crimes. So if they should ever get to the International Criminal Court, the reason why they want to confuse people by some of those tweets that appear crazy is so that one day they can say, well, come on, Mhoozi was only joking. When Mhoozi said he was going to send 100,000 soldiers to Israel, how could he do that when Uganda only has 45,000 soldiers? So obviously that was a joke. It was not meant to be true. So if he was joking about that, it means he was also joking about the people that he claimed he had killed, about the people he claimed he had tortured. Well, guess what? That won't work. And we know that's the strategy. He's trying to mingle some tweets that appear completely crazy with the tweets of him actually admitting to the crimes he committed, right? So that is the purpose behind some of those tweets that appear to be crazy. You know, we all know that there's no way he's going to send 100,000 soldiers to Israel, right? But don't let that deflect from the fact that he has admitted to killing supporters of Nup, and the bodies are there. So we know he has killed. We know he's admitted to torturing Eddie Mutwe, and obviously he tweeted Eddie Mutwe's picture with the wounds on his body. So was that a joke as well? You see? So don't let Mhoozi and Museveni confuse any one of us. One day, because of the evidence left behind by Mhoozi and Museveni, they will be held accountable, deservedly so, for the crimes that they've carried out, not only against the people of Uganda, by the way, the crimes of invading Rwanda as well. That was, of course, mostly Museveni. Mhoozi was still too young. But the multiple crimes of invading Congo, Mhoozi was also involved in that, and the multiple crimes of invading South Sudan. So Ugandans, as I said last time, ask yourself every day, am I doing everything within my power and my talents to end military dictatorship by Museveni and Mhoozi in Uganda? If the answer is no, please, I urge you, including supporters of NRM, who truly love Uganda, join us in the collective struggle to liberate our country from tyranny. Asante.